Cat Scratch Fever continues the story of Selina Kyle. She's really the main character for a while here in a story that isn't her best, but pushes forward her relationship with Batman and shows off how Catwoman is viewed by the public. Following her arrest at the end of The Cat and the Claw Part 2, Selina is released on 5 years probation under the condition that she can never again prowl the streets as Catwoman. She returns home to find that her cat, Isis, ran away a few days before. Determined to find her, Selina roams Gotham, searching for her feline friend when she encounters 2 people illegally capturing strays. After an altercation that leads her to spend the night in jail, Kyle discovers that the animal collectors were represented by a lawyer from Daggett Labs. Suspicious, she investigates as Catwoman to find that they've been infecting all the strays with a toxin that turns them aggressive. Spotting Isis at the facility, she takes her out of a cage only to be bitten and infected with that toxin. Batman finds her wounded and tries to nurse her back to health while getting to the bottom of Roland Daggett's latest scheme. In the production order, this is only the second time we see Catwoman appear, that is, if you count The Cat and the Claw as one story. Selina did show up in Perchance to Dream, but without spoiling that one, let's just say she wasn't quite herself. Actually, a Catwoman spin-off show was proposed at one point. Whether this was a solo series or the previously mentioned team-up with Black Canary, I'm not sure, but in the book Batman Animated, we see a few revamped designs from Bruce Timm that were never used. Like all the characters, she was eventually redesigned for the new Batman adventures, but her more detailed gray suit is the much more memorable look. In any case, I like how we see her arc progress here from her role in the events of The Cat and the Claw, as she's being judged for her actions, both positive and negative. Yes, she did help Batman stop Red Claw and her organization from releasing a deadly virus into Gotham, but Selina was a longtime thief before that. Interestingly, the people of Gotham seem to be behind her.
I have decided to sentence you to 5 years probation.
Selina has quite the media storm surrounding her, as this is apparently a big news story. I do like the attention to detail, as her character has to deal with the consequences of whatever she was just involved in previously. In true Catwoman fashion, she's not pegged down as a hero or a villain, although in this episode she's clearly in the right and not shown doing anything too nefarious. And all this isn't lost on Batman. Bruce Wayne's feelings for her are obviously still there, but he knows she's in love with his alter ego. Bruce also isn't so convinced that Kyle has left Catwoman and her old criminal lifestyle in the past. It's that raw attraction but inescapable mistrust that makes their relationship so interesting.
You're hot.
Now you notice.
Since the public knows Selina is Catwoman, this presents a bit of a different dynamic for her to play with. She can't be caught in the suit for fear of legal penalties, but she just can't help herself as Kyle slides back into her costume to look into Daggett Labs. After she's infected with the toxin, Batman takes care of her in one of her old hideaways, apparently located in Wakanda, and searches Daggett Labs himself. He finds boxes of viral antitoxins just before Roland himself shows up to explain his plan. He's infecting as many of Gotham's strays as possible to create a plague on the city. When Gothamites come down with the virus, Daggett will profit from his antitoxin and make a fortune. Strange how this is the second straight story that features Catwoman trying to stop a viral plague. The circumstances are different and make up a very disparate story, but that is a notable aspect to this episode. When Batman takes over the action, we get a fun fight in the snow with a vicious infected dog. It then spills onto ice and eventually leads to this badass moment.
Guy's gotta be an ice cube by now.
From there, Selina and the animals are cured, Daggett is stopped, and Isis is returned to her rightful owner. It's left unclear what Kyle's next move will be, as she doesn't show up again until the episode Tiger Tiger, which we will be talking about later, but Cat Scratch Fever is not a bad installment of the show. Again, it drives the character forward, so it's not quite a throwaway episode, but on its own, it doesn't do too much to stand out in a series filled with high-quality material. The animation is pretty inconsistent, and on the Blu-ray, this episode doesn't look nearly as well restored as most of the others. The infamous white cell dust is plainly visible for much of the first chunk. The story also isn't a masterpiece or anything, but the music by Harvey Cohen was nominated for an Emmy. Plus, we get appearances from Lucius Fox, Renee Montoya, and Mandark.
Sorry, kitten. But you heard the man.